episode this season, I'm like, the next episode just can't get better. And then I saw this episode this week and I thought it was crazy good. So I'm super happy with this season of PLL. Hey guys, and welcome back to Kellie TV. I just love this season. It's awesome. I don't know if it's Allie being back or what, but this episode starts out with the girls freaking out on Allie because she hired Noel to break into Mrs. Marin's house, and I don't blame them because, you know, it's about time that they get tired of all her antics. And then Spencer wonders, like I've said before, she wonders if maybe Allie hired Noel to come strangle her that day, which we still don't know. And there's just such a weird relationship between Noel and Allie, and we'll get into that a little bit more later on. So Hannah is still drinking, but unfortunately her mom finds the flask, so now her secret is out with her mom. And she's still kind of falling apart, but I'm hoping she's going to start picking herself up here after this episode. So Emily runs into Noel in a super fancy Mercedes, might I say. Oh, and one more thing. I kind of forgot how hot Noel is. I mean, he's really cute. Maybe the cutest guy on the show. Anyway, so he's listening to these recordings. It sounds like Allie talking to Shauna, and he's got this like recording device in his car and he's listening to it. And I'm not really sure what's up with that, but she thinks that's weird, and I think that that's super weird. Meanwhile, Hannah doesn't want to go to Aria's mom's engagement party, which is an obvious statement here, and her mom can't figure out why. So we know why, but her mom's going to find out a little bit later. So police are questioning Aria about Mr. Fitz and their intimate relationship, and they make a statement that maybe Shauna was having an intimate relationship with him. No, I don't think there's any truth to that. I think they're trying to make a connection that Shauna shot Ezra, which is what happened. They're trying to figure out why. It seems like maybe they know this. I don't think he was dating other girls, but we still don't know if Ezra's trustworthy, so maybe he has dated other people besides Allie and Aria. And Spencer is just pretty much fed up with covering for Allison and all her different stories, and which is good. I mean, I'm glad that the girls are like kind of anti-Allie in this episode. I think that's in a positive direction for them. So Emily sneaks into Noel's locker. She gets that combo from someone with the swim team, I guess a teacher or coach with the swim team, and then she steals his car keys. And Ravenswood has totally messed up Caleb, and he just can't get it under control. And I didn't really watch that show. I tried to watch it. I couldn't get into it. But I've heard from other people who comment on my videos that, like, since he saw dead people and stuff, like, it just totally messed with his mind, which makes sense, obviously. So Hannah tells Allie to back off, and she wants her to move out of her house, which it's about time. I have to say, go Hannah here, Team Hannah. Meanwhile, Allie seems terrified of Jenna. I mean, what was that weird exchange? And Jenna is saying that Allie drove Shauna away, not the other way around. And I'm starting to think more and more that Jenna is maybe okay and not like the evil person that they try to make her be. I don't love Jenna, but I just really think she's kind of misunderstood. Aria and Allie are still not speaking after the Zach thing, but that won't last for too much longer. So Spencer goes to the eye doctor, and probably the best scene of this entire episode, and she's got to get her eye looked at after she was hit in the stables in the previous episode. So her eyes are dilated, so her vision's kind of blurry, and she sees Jenna come in, but then there are two Jennas, and I noticed right away that it's not really two Jennas or someone who's actually looks totally like Jenna, but it's Sydney. They're dressed in the same clothes. Props to all the people who thought they were twins, because it looks like they're going to go with that as their twin theory, unless they're just trying to throw us off, because they did look a lot alike once they were dressed totally alike. So props to you guys. So Emily is in Noel's car, and she finds these pics, and I need your help here, guys, because she finds pics of Allie and someone in camo, like a guy in camo. I don't know who this person is. Do you? Let me know. She also finds that recording device. And while she was doing this, Byron comes out of the school. Now, I'm a little confused, and maybe I missed something, but why is Byron in the school or back in town? Because I know he lives elsewhere where he teaches. The timing seemed weird here, and a lot of people have suspected Byron of something sinister before, and she got scared because she thought it was Noel. I think maybe that was a clue into something, that maybe we really shouldn't trust Byron. But then they kind of played it off like it was no big deal. But I think that meant something. So Spencer at the eye doctor sees a sinister message from A on the eye chart. So A is hot on her trail, but I don't think that means that Sydney and Jenna left that message. I totally don't think that at all. But thankfully, Sydney and Jenna get stopped by Emily and Spencer. That is so awesome because now everyone knows that Sydney is not the person that they thought she was. And Jenna is saying once again that Allie is the one they should be scared of, not her. And I'm really starting to believe her and think that she is actually someone we should trust, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I just don't think, I don't think that Sydney is evil either. Really don't. Hannah finally breaks down and tells Caleb that Zach is a creep and he hit it on her. Thankfully, Caleb is on Team Hannah and totally believes her. And Aria, we knew she was kind of suspicious. Even though she jumped all over Hannah in the last episode, you could kind of tell that she thought in the back of her mind, she just didn't want to believe that Zach was this creep that he is. So she tells her mom that Zach was flirting with Hannah, and sadly her mom is not surprised. She said there was a similar incident that happened before. And so this is going to mean the end of them, which is so good that she found this out before they got married. Caleb goes to confront Zach. I mean, he made a story up about going to get food, and I'm thinking he's totally going to go seek out Zach, which he did, which just made my day. And Zach was like, look, she wants this. She wrote me this note. So he gets, you know, this note in girl's handwriting that's like leading him on. And Caleb's like, no, it's not from Hannah. We know it's not from Hannah. And he punches him, and that was a freaking awesome scene. Yes, go Caleb. So it seems like A did have something to do with this whole Zach storyline, and I called that in the last video, so I guess I was kind of right there, which is cool. So it seems like that A knew that Zach was a creep, and so he kind of gave him the bait as Hannah, and he fell for it, and then A planted that note. Interesting. But there's a girl that's working on Team A because that was definitely a girl's handwriting. So Sydney meets up with Emily, and she's like, look, I'm so sorry for all of this. I don't want you to be mad at me. She said that she actually met Jenna when she was volunteering in Philly a couple years ago, and she's like, you know, I didn't realize, Em, that you would be a nice person. And I feel like that was a really genuine statement. Again, I do not think Sydney is evil. The problem we have here, though, is that she's really made Emily mad, and Emily's like, I hope I'm going to be that coach now. I'm kind of going to be out to get you. So I think that she's going to have some retaliation now from Sydney and Jenna. But, you know, I really think that she meant that she liked Emily. What do you guys think? So I'm going to need your help one more time, guys. Spencer goes to a house, and I cannot figure out which house it is because all the furniture is covered up. This is probably something obvious that is just slipping my mind, and I watched it twice. But anyway, there is someone underneath one of the chairs, the covers of the chairs, and we just see this piercing bright blue eye, and I'm immediately thinking about all the different hints we've had about A when people say they love that person's eyes, so that tipped me off right away. Anyway, Spencer is there because she's trying to hide those pictures of Allie. Well, it turns out it's Noel, and he's really hostile in this scene, and he wants those pics back, and Spencer's like, no, you know, we need some insurance here too. And he kind of freaks out, and he's like, look, I have to have them. And he says that he actually was told by Allie to take them from Toby and Jenna's house like seconds before it blew up. So obviously that's not a coincidence at all. And he's yelling like he has to have them back, and like Spencer goes crazy and slices his hand open, and he freaks out on her. So again, we're kind of left thinking like, is Noel good? Is Noel bad? I don't know, because he was super, super mean there. But you know, he's also saying you can't trust Allie. That reoccurring theme here. So Aria shows up at Caleb's to see Hannah, and I'm so excited that they've reunited, and she apologizes after accusing her of being the one to tempt Zach when it was totally the other way around. The shocking ending to this episode, police say, they call Mrs. Marin to say they've arrested the man who kidnapped Allie, which we know that never even happened, so I'm sitting here like, what? Who? And they find some random guy, and apparently maybe she's paid this guy, or somebody's blackmailed somebody to get this guy to confess. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I think there's going to be so many holes in the story that the police realize that this guy did not do it. And then we see A in the dentist, or in the eye doctor's office, and A is listening to an iPod with, it sounds like Allie's police confession. So that is interesting. Makes you wonder if there's a police leak, because we've always known the police are shady in Rosewood. So I want to give a huge shout out to my subscriber of the week this week, and I hope that I don't screw your name up. I think it's Bladamil Colin, and I loved your theory about Rhonda. Rhonda possibly being bribed to lie about the stuff dealing with Bethany Young in that book, and Mrs. D, or possibly Mrs. D, taking someone to the horse stables and all the gifts. Maybe she made that whole story up. It seemed like she was easily bribed with like cheese fries and a root beer before, so it might not take much. And Bladamil was also talking about the stable guy. Maybe he made things up about Bethany and the woman because he was paid or blackmailed, and I thought those were both really awesome theories, so thank you so much. And thank you to the outpouring of support for my videos and all the people who share their theories, because I'm amazed like by each and every one. I read all of them and I love to comment back with what I think about your theory, and it just really makes me think, and I'm like spending more time Googling what your theories might mean if other people feel the same way, because I love to get to the bottom of the PLL mystery. So I'll pick a new subscriber of the week next week, so please leave your theories below and maybe it will be you. Thank you again for watching this episode of Kellie TV, and I will see you next time.